42 of the Arctic Crafts podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Westboro, northern Norway, where I live with my husband and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook and Etsy as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. And on Ravelry, in my group on Ravelry, we have 2 different make-alongs going. We have the year-long Arctic Crafts make-along and a Halloween make-along that's running until Halloween. And the Arctic Crafts make-along is for everything and anything you make with my yarn, and I draw a winner every quarter. And the Halloween make-along, anything that has to do with Halloween, no matter what craft you're using, is eligible for a prize. And the prize for the Halloween make-along is the Halloween collaboration I did with JibbyRooSews. Did you notice a slight change in my pronunciation? Because I've said JibbyRooSews all along, but then somebody made me aware of the fact that it's spelled S-E-W, and that's pronounced so. So it's JibbyRooSews. I'll probably continue calling it JibbyRooSews. I hope Michelle is okay with that. And the other make-along, the Arctic Crafts make-along, the price for that is a skein of your choice from my Etsy shop. And I actually have a winner to announce. I finally drew the winner for the 3rd quarter because it got delayed a bit because I did not podcast last week because of fall break. So the winner for 3rd quarter in the Arctic Crafts make-along is Nady M. I've already earburned you on Ravelry, so please contact me and let me know what skein of yarn you would like from my shop. And the project she did, it's her first project with hand-dyed yarn, so I'm really proud that my yarn was the one she chose for her first hand-dyed yarn project. And she crocheted a cowl, and it's really fun that it was crochet as well, because too few people crochet with hand-dyed yarn. And it's really fun for me to see a crocheted project with my yarn as well, because it knits up differently when you crochet. So contact me, Nady M, and let me know what you would like as a prize. It's kind of sunny today. It's overcast, but it doesn't rain. So it's a nice autumn day in Westboro. I was debating whether I should podcast today because of personal reasons, but then I realized it's been 3 weeks. I have loads of stuff to show you. I have a shop update on Sunday that I want to show you. So here goes, and I try not to rush through this because I have quite a few FOs to show you and not as many whips, but I also have a big reveal, the Christmas collaboration with me and JibbyRooSews. We are hoping that the male gods are smiling down on us, and I'm shipping the yarn she's going to sell. I'm shipping that on Monday. She is shipping the bags, half of the bags, to me on Monday. And if everything is turning out okay, my next update in 2 weeks, Sunday in 2 weeks, and that's Halloween, I think. The Christmas collaboration is going to be part of that update. And if it arrives after that, we will of course put it up in our shops as soon as we can, because it's after all a Christmas collaboration, and we want we want to have ample time for people to actually get it before Christmas. So that's for show and tell, and let's start with the knitting. I'm not wearing any knits today. I'm wearing a sweater I bought in York while we were on our honeymoon 7 years ago. So it's been in my wardrobe for quite some time. And sometimes I actually forget that I have it. But it's really beautiful, so I'll try to remember to wear it more. It's like a sweater dress, so I can wear it over tights. And it's the perfect... it's perfect for this time of year because it's a thin fabric, even though it's a kind of a jersey, but it feels like wool almost, so it's really nice. And then, without further ado, let's get on with the FOs. The first FO I'm showing you is a test knit, but it's up on Ravelry now. It's a hat designed by my friend Selma in Canada. She lives in Ottawa, Canada, and her name is Selma Incesulu. And you can find the hat by searching for the Westboro hat. I'm blanking on her Ravelry name, but I'll put it under this. I'll put it under her Ravelry name. So, and of course a link to the pattern in the show notes. This is knit in my Gold Sport, in the colorway Cookie Dough, and it needs a block, to be honest with you. But there's two reasons why I haven't blocked it, because when I wear it, it looks okay. As you can see, it looks fine on, and I'm so afraid to hurt the bubbles, if you know what I mean. This might end up as a gift. I have some Polldale Sport left. It's a sport weight yarn I don't carry anymore because it's a non-superwash, and it didn't sell, and so I have a few skeins left of the Polldale Sport, the non-superwash, and one of them is a pink, and you know me and pink. So this might become a gift, and I'll knit another one for myself in pink. And if you buy this pattern, you also support a charity, because Selma is donating her earnings for this pattern. She's donating it to Harmony House in Ottawa. I'll just check that I have this, that I don't say anything. Harmony House in Ottawa. That's a shelter for women and children to get out of abusive situations. So if you buy this pattern, you also donate to a really good cause. So that's my test knit. That's out on Ravelry, the Westboro hat. So that's one FO. And I also have an old FO. The FO as such isn't old, but the whip is old. It's the Desert Diamonds by Crazy Sock Lady. This I started this. Oh my god, it's really long ago. I started it when the pattern was released, and it kind of was put aside, and then suddenly spring arrived, and I didn't need a cowl, but I love these colors, so I decided to finish it for this season. I've knit this in my fine merino DK, and the colorways are Brickyard and Peony. And Peony is a really soft pink. You can sort of see that it's pink because it's with Brickyard. But so this is and this is a mistake. No, it's it's where I thought that was a mistake, but that's where I started the new round, so that's where the rounds meet. I should try to remember to have that in the back when I wear it. So that's the Desert Diamonds. I can't remember what size needles I used, but it's in my project page in Ravelry. So that's the Desert Diamonds. And another FO that's been finished for a while, but I haven't been able to show you because it was a mystery knit along. And it's the Sharon show. Sorry about the lighting, it keeps changing all the time. Hopefully it's not too annoying. I'll try to see what I can do with it in editing. The sun suddenly decided to pop through the clouds, so the light changed. And this is the Sharon show, mystery knit along. It's one of the most, I normally don't do mystery knit alongs because I want to know what I get. But this was really fun because she did a lot of fun stuff while we were going, and the clues were, and this was supposedly designed by a cat, Sharon from Security, and there were loads of fun comments in the clues. And this is the Sharon show. It's a really, really long wrap. And you can see here, this goes several times around my neck. But I love the colors, so I'll probably be using this anyway, even though it's long. I'll just wear it like this when I'm showing it to you. Or maybe not, because I'm going to tell you what yarn I've used. So I'll just take it off again. The yarns are this lilac, violet, purple. Let's see, it's the Stitch Foundry. It didn't have a name. That's that yarn. The pink one is Pink Peonies by knitter Scarlet. And both these yarns are yarns I got from You Felty Thing while I was subscribed to her club, my yarn club. This beautiful violet is Nora George, Sweet Pea. And this one is my yarn. It's a silver sparkle sock. It's called Raspberry Sorbet, and I totally lost the sparkle when I dyed it. You can see a tiny bit of sparkle. But because I lost the sparkle when I dyed it, I decided to use it myself in this. Because in this project it doesn't matter that the sparkle doesn't show. Actually, it's maybe a good thing because it would ruin the overall effect, I think, if one of the colors had sparkle and not the others. So this I'm going to start wearing, I think, as soon as it gets a bit chilly. So that was the Sharon show. And I have one more FO to show you. And it's a big one. It's a sweater. And I knit this sweater, knit up really quickly. Because this is the Manou by Isabell Kraemer, and you can actually see the colors are coming up really nicely on camera. The reason why this went along so quickly was because the yoke, if there's a pattern in the yoke, a patterned yoke always goes fast, because I think it's so much fun to knit color work. And because this sweater also has a pattern at the bottom, this stockinette section went really quickly because I couldn't wait to start with another pattern repeat. And I've worn this a lot already because it's the perfect thing to use, because it's knit in Cascade 220. This purple is Cascade 220, and the variegated is Richard de Vries. And it's thick enough to be used instead of a jacket this time of year. So if I'm going to a quick trip to the supermarket or the post office or stuff like that, I said it again, I decided I wasn't going to say stuff like that anymore. Okay, I'm not editing that out. I have to do me, I guess. So if I'm going out for a walk in the evening with hubby, or if I'm going to the supermarket, I just pop this over a t-shirt and I don't need a jacket. So I've already worn it lots. And that was my FOs. I have no more FOs to show you. So let's start with the whips, shall we? The works I have, that works in progress, I'll start with the smaller one first. It's not that exciting. I'm this far on the second sock of my Halloween socks, and it's just a vanilla sock. My normal recipe, the needles are 2.25, and I cast on 64 stitches, and I knit the leg as long as I want it. I don't have a particular measurement for how long the leg is going to be. On self-striping, I tend to knit to where I want the heel to start because of the stripes. And I like to start the heel in the middle of a stripe. So here I started the heel in the middle of the darkest purple. And I also knit until it's suitable to start with the toe before so this sock is 3 rows longer than I normally knit my socks, but hopefully that won't matter a lot, because I wanted to finish this stripe before I started the toe. The heel and toe is knit with a commercial sock yarn in black. I think it's a Järbo Raggi, and black is a really nice color to have for this kind of stuff. It's a pain to knit a heel though in black, especially this time of year when it's starting to get dark in the evenings. So a slip stitch heel in black, but I thought I had to use black for these. So that's my Halloween socks. And I think I haven't moved the Progresskeeper. It's still here. It's from Hannah at Corner of Craft, and it's a purple dragon, and it was just the thing for these socks. It matches perfectly with the colors. And the bag is from the Halloween collaboration. So the bag is from JibbyRooSews. Notice I'm trying to pronounce it correctly. As I always say, English is my second language. My second sock project is actually a pair of Christmas socks. It's in a bag by the Tangled Stitch, and it's the if you're watching my Vlogtober, you know I showed you this when I was going to cast them on. It's this year's Christmas colorway from West Yorkshire Spinners. It's called Silent Night, and it has lots of sparkle. And I decided to knit the Evergreen socks by Madeline Gannon because they have a Christmassy motive. Because this yarn isn't typically Christmassy in the colors, so I wanted to knit a Christmassy pattern. And I was a bit worried that this pattern wouldn't show up on this yarn because it's so busy, but I think it's showing up. You can see it's what you call these trees in spruce, I think you call this in English. Or is this a fir? One of the two. Think Christmas tree. Because of all the sparkles, it's kind of a Christmas tree. So these are for me, for Christmas. I'm slowly getting there. I'm trying to do like Stranded and have a box of 24 pairs of Christmas socks. So it's slowly growing, but I only knit a couple of pairs of Christmas socks every year. And I'm on a budget when it comes to yarn purchases. So this year I only bought commercial. I bought West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas yarn, I had one ball of Christmas yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners left from last year, and I bought 2 balls of yarn this year. And that's kind of a tale of woe, because I started a pair of Christmas socks with West Yorkshire Spinners. I think the colorway is called Hollyberry. And I've gotten this far on them, and I've misplaced that project bag. I've called the hotel we stayed in Namsos, even though I'm 100% sure I didn't bring that knitting to Namsos. I've called the garage where I sat knitting while they fit the snow tires on the car. It's not there. Then it has to be somewhere in the apartment, and I've been looking everywhere. And the knitting isn't the worst thing, because I was using a 9-inch circular from Knit Pro Sing. I can easily replace that. The yarn was from West Yorkshire Spinners. I can easily replace that. But the project bag was made for me by a lovely customer and subscriber in the US. So that was a bummer. So hopefully it suddenly appears. I'll probably just put it away somewhere, and if it doesn't show up sooner, let's hope that it shows up when I'm tidying and cleaning the house for Christmas. So I can maybe knit on those socks during Christmas. So cross your fingers for me that I find that project bag. I have shown you what I've been working on recently. I have one more thing to show you. I have another pair of socks. I've only knit a little on these since I showed them to you last time. If you hear scratching noises, it's because Severus Snape has found something he can use as a football, so he's kicking that around the floor. Thankfully, it's not a noisy football. This is a bag I bought at Bykiosken, Untitled Design in Svolvær, and it's made by her business partner, or podcast partner rather, Frøken Petrine. I'm blanking on her real name, but her brand is Frøken Petrine, and she makes these from recycled fabrics. Or reused rather, not recycled. This is my blueberry waffle socks. I'm knitting these with my gold sport in the colorway Kaleidoscope, and these got put away. So I think maybe I've just turned the heel the last time I showed them to you. So I've only knit a little on them. I brought these to Namsos because I thought I was bringing the Christmas socks, and when I came to Namsos, I arrived in the hotel room. This bag was in my luggage instead of the other one. That's why I know I didn't bring the missing project bag to Namsos. So that's what I have for whips. And this is future, Bente. As you can see, I didn't waste any time getting back in my PJs, but I forgot to show you one of my whips. And it's kind of, I have to show it to you because it's my biggest whip, and it's the whip I've been working the most on. And this is in my tote bag by Tangled Stitch. And you can see why I have to show you this. I can't, because it probably, hopefully, will be an FO the next time I podcast, because I've gotten a lot done on it. It's the Topolino by Isabell Kraemer. It's in my show notes and everything. I think, yeah, it's in my show notes, but I've completely forgot. So this is the Topolino by Isabell Kraemer, and the yarn is Martin's Lab Comfy Merino in the colorway Touri. I would say Touri, but that's in Norwegian. I'm not sure what it means, but it's probably not pronounced in Norwegian, whatever it is. And again, we have a stitch marker from Hannah of Corner of Craft. It's a unicorn. And the story behind this sweater is I wasn't supposed to knit a Topolino. I was supposed to knit a Lana sweater. I think I mentioned that to you. I was going to knit a Lana sweater with this yarn. Thing is, I discovered that I didn't have enough yarn for the Lana sweater, and I had just enough for the Topolino. So that's why I decided to knit the Topolino instead, because that was also in my queue. And you can see I'm on the lace at the bottom of the sweater. But I'm not completely done with the body, and this is what I have left of the 2 first skeins. And I bought 3 skeins. So I've just started with the 3rd skein. I'm alternating, so and I thought, okay, I'd better just order the 4th skein right away, so I might get the same batch number for the 4th skein. But then I realized that I didn't have the same batch. The 3 skeins I had bought was not the same batch. So probably, hopefully, the one I'm getting now is the same batch as one of these. This is Martin's Lab, and it's bought at Garnbutikken Fortuna. That's an LYS in Trøndelag that also has a web shop. And it's comfy merino in the colorway Touri. And the 4th skein is on its way, and the ironic thing is that if I bought 4 skeins to begin with, I could be knitting the Lana sweater. But I'm going to knit the Lana sweater anyway. But I'll probably use my own yarn for the Lana sweater. And maybe knit it in a smaller size, so I can, it's an oversized sweater, so knit it in a smaller size, and if it's too small, I'll just use it as a sample. And that's future Bente, done with that particular work in progress. And I'll just insert this bit in the whip section in the podcast. Thank you for your attention. I'll just let you go back to past Bente. Can you please calm down a bit? He knows I'm podcasting, so he decided to make his presence known, I guess. He's going to attack something on the floor. So now we're going into the exciting part. We're going into show and tell, and that means I'm going to reveal the Christmas collaboration that's going into the shop on Halloween, hopefully. And this time I've done something different for the yarn. You remember I was saying that we weren't going to do a traditional Christmas fabric and Christmas colorway? Well, we changed our minds because of this fabric. Arctic Crafts, remember? Look at this pattern on this fabric. It even has got a polar bear. And the houses look like Norwegian houses. There's snow, there's a reindeer, there's even a penguin. We don't have penguins in mainland Norway, but this is a tiny part of Antarctica. That's Norwegian. There's probably penguins there, right? But penguins and polar bears, they never meet, because polar bears only exist in the Arctic and penguins only in Antarctica. I remember that was a question from, I don't remember what it was, but it was a question if polar bears ate penguins, if they were part of the polar bears menu. And the answer was, no, it isn't, because they never meet. So this is the bag. She also is adding DPN cozies in the same fabric and a cute candy cane Progresskeeper. And now let's get to the yarn I'm adding to the setup. And it's minis. Minis in colors that I've taken from the fabric. And you can tell this is Christmassy. Apart from because you have the red for Santa Claus and one of the houses. You have white for the snow and the polar bear. And you have the gold for one of the houses. And you have a warm brown for the reindeer and the tree trunks. And the thoughts behind using minis and semi-solid minis at that in this collaboration is that you can knit stripy socks with these and get beautiful Christmas socks, and you can decide for yourself how wide you want the stripes. You can knit a Christmassy hat with them because there is 100 grams here. But one other thing you can use them for. People tend to buy loads of Christmas sock yarn. And maybe you would like contrasting heels and toes. Well, here you have it. 20 grams is more than enough for heels and toes in a pair of socks. And you have these 3 classic Christmas colors that you can use almost for any Christmas yarn you buy. And these 2 aren't that Christmassy, so these you can use for other types of sock yarn. So here you have it. And that's the Christmas collaboration. And the name is Santa's Little Helpers. And that's because the fabric name is Santa's Little Helpers. And it's a really cute name. So the mini set is also called Santa's Little Helpers. The mini set might come back next Christmas. Because even though I probably will make a new Christmas colorway, this will probably come back because it's really practical to have this for Christmas socks. So that was the big reveal. And hopefully everyone who wants one can get hold of one, because we have double the amount this time, so we have a total of 20 kits for sale. 10 in my shop and 10 in JibbyRooSews shop. So that was the Christmas collaboration, and I'm going to wait until the end of the episode to show you the yarn going into the shop update, because I've had a birthday, and my good friend Sue, Crafty87 in Canada, sent me a beautiful Christmas present. I knew about one of these things, but she threw in some surprises as well. And this is the part I knew about. Look at this. This is made by Sue. She made this bag for me. It's a backpack, and I love the details. There's a lot of thought gone into this. There's a different lining for the straps. There's a big pocket, zipper pocket in the front with the same lining as the straps. And it's got this really fun closing with what you call these in English? In Norwegian we call them karabinkrok. Do you call them a carabin here? Who knows? And of course it's the same fun fabric as the lining. A rainbow bunting. And there's a pocket on the inside as well, a big pocket. And in this bag I have the rest of the present, or almost everything that was, because she also sent me 3 bags of bugles, the nacho cheese flavor, my favorite. So that's already eaten. Surprise, surprise. My youngest son Erlend had the first bag because he wanted to try them and he really loved them. So I'll put up a picture of him here looking really pleased with himself because he's got an entire bag of bugles all to himself. Or rather, I had some as well. And this was part of my present. Sue makes these as well. And on the front I have my name, and on the back it says coffee first. And I don't know if you can tell, but the letters are sparkly. So this is the only coffee mug I've used since I got it. And my coffee is getting cold. Iced coffee is really good, but cold coffee that's gone cold because you haven't drunk it, not good. Maybe I should just add ice to that afterwards and have it as an iced coffee instead of just throwing it out. So I was going to show you the rest of the present that's inside this. I put it inside the bag so I wouldn't forget. It's this fun, I'm thinking this is probably a pencil case, but or it might be an ocean's pouch. That's what I'm going to use it for. I'm going to use it as a notion pouch and put it in with my knitting, and it's got lots of, it might be llamas, but I'm saying alpacas because fibers, alpacas. And she added 2 more things. She bought me a tape measure, Knit City tape measure, last time she went to Knit City, and it broke. And she had one herself, and she actually gifted me her own Knit City tape measure. So now I have a new one that actually functions. And it won't focus, but you can see the logo, even though it's a bit blurry. And one more thing. She makes these, and she just picked a lot of, let's do this. Trying to focus, there you go. Loads of stitch markers in all my favorite colors. Purple, pink, and turquoise. So this is in my... next to my couch with the rest of my knitting notions, so they're easy to get hold of. And this is so cute with this little glass bottle with all the stitch markers in. So that was the present from Sue for my birthday. Thank you very much, Sue. We are also doing an advent swap because I couldn't afford to buy a Yarny advent calendar this year. And Sue came to the rescue and suggested we do an advent swap. So I've sent her 24 bags of 20 gram minis, or some of them are 2 times 2 10 gram balls, and a big skein for the 25th. Even though in Norway we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, so I think her advent to me is 23 tiny skeins and a big one for the 24th. So she gets away with 1 day less than me. So, but anyway, so I get an advent calendar, and I'm planning on just adding them to my crochet blanket every day as soon as I get them. And if I don't have the time to crochet that day, or don't feel like it, I'll just make a magic ball and knot them all together. I might do that anyway in December. We'll see, but it would be nice to just sit down, because a 20 gram mini, that's about 10 minutes of crochet. So it doesn't take a lot of time. And I've had time to do advent projects with my bought advent calendars up till now. So that's what I'm doing. Enough of advent swaps. I have one more present to show you. When we went to Namsos for fall break, Tor Håvard, or hubby, always just drops me off in Namsos where I stay in a hotel, and then he just goes on to Verdal. That's a town about a 2-hour drive south of Namsos, because that's where he's from. That's where he has his family. And because my mother has been sick, I didn't come with him to Verdal. I stayed in Namsos to be with my mother. And there's a really nice local yarn shop in Verdal. And every time I'm there, I always go there because she has a lot of nice yarn. And she's a really nice lady as well. And the yarn store is called Nøste. And I don't think she has a web shop. I can check. If she has, I'll put it in the show notes. And because hubby is married to an indie maker, he has, and because he decided probably that I have enough yarn and that I'm kind of picky, I want to pick my yarn myself, and I prefer hand-dyed because I'm a snob. No, I'm not. But commercial, I almost only buy sock yarn if I buy commercial yarn. Anyways, he bought me a needle case for my DPNs. He saw this fabric and he actually knew what it was for. He's married to a knitter and he's learning stuff all the time. And he bought a DPN cozy with cats on it. And we're cat crazy, both of us. So, and he knows I love this color. And this DPN case, I'm trying to hold it the right way up so it doesn't. And now I have actually collected all my DPNs in this. Before I had them 2 different places because I had a box for my DPNs with compartments, but I couldn't fit all my DPNs in that. So the rest of my DPNs were in just in a pile. So now I have all my DPNs in this, and it's really nice. It's a really nice work. It's padded. It's really soft, and the lining is a really beautiful pattern. And both this and the DPN cozy are made by Ranveig Vangen Holte, and the shop is Timotei. And for the Norwegian viewers, you can see she has an Epla shop. Epla is kind of a Norwegian Etsy. And this was attached to it. I think that picture was so cute. But if somebody, some of my international viewers would like to order something, I would like to, if you go into a shop and you see something you like, you can see her Instagram is Timotei Design, and I'll of course put that in the show notes, so you can check with her if she ships abroad. So that's the present, and I'm getting hot, probably because I'm wearing something knitted indoors, even though it's autumn. So maybe I should just rush through the shop update so that I can get into something more comfortable. I'll just go through my show notes quickly and see that I haven't forgotten anything. No, I haven't. So let's go through the shop update. And I have it here. And the flowers behind me, by the way, were also from hubby, because I was having a bad day and then he just brought me flowers. So that's hubby for you. He does stuff like that. We can start with the Christmas yarn I'm adding to the shop on Sunday. I've gotten minis, Polldale minis. So I've done a set of Fairytale of New York on Polldale. with one gold and sorry, that was a different one. One red mini. The gold one is, you can see I have gold sparkles in the colorway. So this is Fairytale of New York, full skein, 100 grams plus 2 20-gram minis. And the yarn isn't completely dry yet, so that's why the minis look a bit shabby. I'm going to, as soon as I'm through podcasting, I'm just going to untwist these and hang them up to dry again. Same goes for this. It's also looking a bit scruffy because I have to hang it up again as soon as I'm done recording. This is my platinum sock, and it's a 50 gram plus a 20 gram sock set. And I'm trying to get it to focus. It's the same, of course the same as the Poldark. It's Fairytale of New York. So those are going into the shop on Sunday. I also have a skein of Fairytale of New York without the minis. That's also going into the shop. I have 2 skeins left, I think, from the last time I put Christmas yarn in. And the teal mini I was trying to put with Christmas yarn belongs to this. Because when I got the Poldark, and Poldark is a really popular base, so I decided to make a couple of Poldark Grab Your Drank sets. 1 full skein and 2 20-gram minis. And it's blowing out because the sun decided to come out. Sorry about that, but Grab Your Drank, I think you know what it looks like. I made a lot of Grab Your Drank. I also have my newest colorway, Plum Jam, on singles going into the shop. I'm going to knit myself a sweater in Plum Jam. I just bought the Rituals by Joji Locatelli, and it's a DK pattern, but I think I'm going to knit it in sport weight with Plum Jam as the main color and cookie dough for the stripes, I think. I'll just have to see if cookie dough works with Plum Jam or not. I also have this going into the shop. It's a colorway I made for Touri, Untitled Design in Svolvær. But I liked it so much I decided I wanted some in my shop as well. It's kind of an autumn colorway. Reminds me of blackcurrant toddies. Fires in the fireplace. And it's called hygge. And I think you all know what hygge is. It's a Norwegian word. And it means, it can't be translated into English. It just means having a good time with friends, relaxing, and hygge. We also say hyggelig, something that's nice. You could use the word hyggelig. But again, that's hygge, and it's on my XR Merino DK, so this is 150 grams of DK, 367 meters. And I have a nameless colorway. It might not get a name, because even though it's beautiful, it didn't turn out quite the way I wanted, but I've made notes, so I know exactly how I made it. So I'm putting the 3 skeins I dyed up in the shop as a test. And if it sells, I'll make more. And then I'll actually give it a name. It's on my Natural Boo, so it's a merino bamboo blend. And it's so crazy soft. So 3 skeins of that is going into the shop on Sunday. And the next thing I'm going to show you are 2 different or 2 mini sets. It's the same kit. It's Fall Symphony, but it's on 2 different bases. This I've had in the shop before. It's on platinum sock. It's a tiny change when it comes to colorways, but Fall Symphony, I have a tendency to, it's all fall colors all the time, but I might change them up a bit. So this is Fall Symphony on platinum sock. And then I have, for the first time, I have DK minis, because I got hold of my XR Merino DK on 20 gram minis. So here you have Fall Symphony on DK. And I'm thinking this is perfect if you want to knit a colorwork hat, for instance, and you can use a solid main color, and you can use these for the colorwork. And because this is a nylon DK, it has nylon in it, you can use this for heels and toes on DK socks. And then this is 100 grams, so you could knit a hat with them, a stripy hat. That would also work, or fingerless mitts. So this, I'm really excited to see if people want DK mini sets. Because I didn't buy a lot of DK minis, because I was thinking I have to see if they sell before I buy more. So this is it, Fall Symphony on DK. And you have to excuse my hands and fingers. I was dying yesterday, and I didn't wear my gloves all the time. I don't always wear my gloves. So that's why my fingers sometimes look like this. I think I've been through everything. I've showed you. I have no other acquisitions apart from the presents. I haven't bought any yarn. I bought some Christmas yarn. I ordered some Christmas yarn yesterday because hubby said, go ahead, order Christmas yarn. So he bought me Christmas. I bought a self-striping yarn, and now I can't remember what the dye is called, but it was a dye to order Christmas self-striping. I'll show you when I get it, of course, and then I'll tell you who the dyer is. So that's it, and I'm not doing Vlogtober today because of the podcast. I might film me making Fairytale later today, so you can see how I do it, because I'm having my neighbor over for a Fairytale tomorrow. For those of you who haven't seen Vlogtober, it's a typical autumn dish in Norway. It's just mutton. I always use lamb, and you stack it layers with cabbage, and you add whole peppercorns and salt. And I always make it the day before I'm going to eat it, because it's better reheated for some reason. So I'm going to make Fairytale today, because hubby is going away for the weekend and he doesn't eat mutton. So I've decided, because I hate being alone, so I decided to give it a positive spin and have Fairytale, because I love it. And I invited our neighbor for Fairytale. So I'll probably do some filming while I'm making it, so you can see how I do it. And I'm not sure I'll be doing Vlogtober every day next week, because of a lot of stuff happening, and my brain is fog. I think you call it the brain fog these days. I struggle focusing on anything. So I'm kind of a couch potato. I dye yarn, and then I just sit on the couch and knit. And I take a short walk every day. I should record more when I'm out walking, because it's really beautiful now with the fall colors in the trees and everything. So I should do more filming when I'm out walking. And I shouldn't keep going on because my husband calls me the epilogue lady for a reason. So I'll just stop here and try to edit this as quickly as possible so I get it uploaded today. And I'll see you when I see you. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you get a notification whenever I post something new. So if you want to see my Vlogtober, I suggest you do that. Subscribe and click the bell for notifications. That way you don't miss out on any Vlogtober episodes. And one more thing before I say goodbye. I have a Ko-fi page. It's a link down below. And it's for supporting me when it comes to postage for prices, knit-along prices, and hopefully kind of improving my equipment for the podcast. Among other things, proper lighting, because I don't have any proper lighting. If I had, I would just draw the curtains and use artificial lighting instead of having this thing happening. So that's it. Now I'm going to stop and publish this. So I hope you have a nice weekend, that you're staying safe and healthy. And I'll suddenly be back with a Vlogtober episode. And my next podcast episode is Friday in 2 weeks' time. Goodbye.